At first glance, the Triumph Dolomite seems almost too sensible to be exciting. A compact four-door saloon, neat chrome, upright glass, and a very British sense of restraint. But this car carried Saab-linked engineering, touring car attitude, and one of the most unusual 16-valve engines of its era. Subscribe if you enjoy forgotten classic car stories. Today, we're digging into the clever details and strange secrets that made the Dolomite far more than an ordinary family car. The 16-valve trick that shouldn't have worked. One of the most remarkable engineering details of the Triumph Dolomite Sprint was its 16-valve cylinder head, launched in 1973 at a time when such technology still sounded exotic on a small British saloon. Unlike many high-performance engines that used twin overhead camshafts, Triumph used a single overhead camshaft to operate all 16 valves. The inlet valves were worked directly, while the exhaust valves used rocker arms, creating a clever but unusual layout. The benefit was simple: more breathing, more power, and less mechanical complexity than a full twin-cam design. It gave the Sprint a claimed 127 brake horsepower from just under 2 litres. More importantly, it made the Dolomite feel like a secret weapon in sensible clothing. A BMW Beta born from a family saloon. The strangest thing about the Dolomite Sprint was not that it was quick, but that it looked so polite while doing it. This was not a low coupe with flared arches or an obvious sports car body. It was a compact four-door saloon with upright glass, neat chrome, and the kind of shape you might expect outside a bank or a suburban driveway. Yet underneath that restrained exterior, Triumph had created a car aimed at serious European rivals like the BMW 2002. Its light body, strong engine, and rear-wheel drive balance gave it genuine pace. The practical benefit was brilliant: family car space with sports saloon attitude. That contrast helped give the Dolomite its lasting underdog charm. The front-wheel drive family tree that became rear-wheel drive. The Dolomite's family history was far stranger than its tidy bodywork suggested. Its roots went back to the Triumph 1300, a refined front-wheel drive saloon from the 1960s. Before the related Toledo shifted the formula back to rear-wheel drive. By the time the Dolomite arrived in 1972, Triumph had blended familiar body architecture with a more traditional drivetrain layout. On paper, that sounds confusing. On the road, it gave the car a more engaging feel, especially for drivers who liked the balance and simplicity of rear-wheel drive. This unusual evolution made the Dolomite feel like a car built from compromises, experiments, and clever recycling. Somehow, that messy family tree became part of its personality. The Saab connection, hidden under the bonnet. Hidden beneath the Dolomite's bonnet was a connection many casual fans would never expect. Saab. The slant-4 engine family had links to the unit used by Saab in the 99, giving this modest British saloon a surprising Scandinavian shadow in its background. Triumph developed its own versions, including the 1850 engine and later the enlarged 2-litre Sprint unit. The tilted engine layout helped packaging and kept the bonnet line lower than a more upright engine might have allowed. It was not just a random mechanical choice, it shaped the car's proportions and future performance potential. This hidden relationship gives the Dolomite a richer backstory, turning it from a simple Coventry saloon into a quiet piece of European engineering crossover. Luxury details in a small car body. Step inside a Dolomite, and the surprise was not raw speed, but ambition. Triumph wanted this compact saloon to feel more upmarket than its size suggested, so it gave the cabin details that spoke the language of larger executive cars. Wood veneer, supportive seats, clear instruments, and a restrained dashboard helped create a warm, club-like atmosphere. On higher spec models, details such as a vinyl roof and smart alloy wheels added to that small luxury image from the outside. The practical benefit was emotional as much as physical owners felt they were buying something more special than an ordinary family runabout. It made the Dolomite stand out in 1970s Britain, where class, comfort, and image mattered almost as much as horsepower. The Australian yellow-only mystery. One of the oddest stories around the Dolomite Sprint comes from its Australian presence. According to enthusiast and buyer guide accounts, examples sold new in Australia became closely associated with a vivid yellow paint finish and a black vinyl roof, creating an image far louder than the car's conservative British shape. Whether treated as a strict market quirk or an import-era peculiarity, it gives the Sprint a visual identity that is impossible to ignore. In Britain, the car could disappear into traffic like a discreet sports saloon. In Australia, that yellow and black combination made it look almost theatrical. The practical benefit was instant recognition. The emotional result was even better. A small Triumph that looked like it had arrived with its own cult uniform. The touring car that embarrassed bigger names. The Dolomite Sprint's most dramatic proof came not from brochures, but from the racetrack. In British saloon racing during the 1970s, this compact Triumph fought against bigger names and far more obvious performance machines. Its 16-valve engine, rear-wheel drive layout, and relatively light shell made it a sharp tool in touring car competition. Drivers such as Andy Rouse helped give the Sprint real credibility, including major success in the British Saloon Car Championship. That mattered because it proved the car was not merely clever on paper. It could survive pressure, curbs, noise, and hard laps in front of real crowds. For a small four-door Triumph, motorsport turned its unusual engineering into a lasting badge of honor. The Triumph Dolomite was never just a small British saloon, it was a clever, flawed, ambitious machine with secrets hiding in almost every detail. From its unusual 16-valve engine to its touring car battles, it proved that quiet cars can still leave loud legacies. Click to watch more stories about classic British cars. Like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on the Dolomite. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.